So it finishes Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool not able to muster a single shot on target, but they did improve as the game went on. Arsenal dominating the first half, but really toothless up front. What that means overall, it could have been 8, instead it's 6. The number of points that separate the top 2. Luis Garcia still with us. Frank Leboeuf joins us as well. We'll be hearing from the boys in a moment. Stevie, you would have taken a point at kickoff, wouldn't you?
I would. I would have taken a 0-0
after half an hour.
Well, it took Liverpool 25 minutes. The highlight we showed was the first time Liverpool had any possession of the ball and any sort of strike at goal. After that, in terms of strikes at goal, Liverpool still didn't have any. But the second half was competitive. The first half wasn't competitive. Arsenal had Liverpool penned in. Liverpool could not get out, couldn't keep the ball, and then when somebody actually got a hold of it, everybody was too busy defending, there was nowhere to go. So first half was complete and utter domination from Arsenal. Arsenal's front three, completely blunt, totally blunt. Gyokeres probably could have been better off sat on the bench beside his manager.
Yep.
But the second half was competitive. Neither side created any real chances. And at the end of the day, I guess 0-0 is probably the right result.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to argue that, isn't it, Frank? I think a 0-0 draw probably sums this game up quite nicely.
Yes, exactly. I would have never thought that, you know, after the first half. But that's the reality of what happened today. And if Arsenal were very dominant, as Stevie alluded before, Liverpool showed their strengths in the second half, and it needed, I think, Gabriel Jesus' header and the 88th minute for Arsenal to have a chance in the second half. So it says a lot about the fact that Liverpool, if they park the bus in a way the first half, they try something in the second half. So the result is only fair for me.
Arsenal did something to Liverpool that not many teams have been able to do this year, which made them actually look pretty decent defensively. Because they haven't kept that many clean sheets, particularly on the road, even at home at Anfield. But I think we saw once again that, you know, we've discussed sort of Gyokeres, and it's not all on him, of course it's not. But when a couple of those balls are fizzing across the 6-yard box, he's on his heels.
8 touches he had in the whole game.
He's not in there. It's not happening at the moment. And dare I say, they probably will win the league. I mean, that's a bit of a stutter for them today, but it might be a case where he's not the starting number 9. Jesus is fit now. Havertz is there or thereabouts, I believe. And quite frankly, Arsenal are where they are, despite him, not because of him.
Why? When we were calling out last year, when Kai Havertz was missing chances, that we were saying, right, Arsenal need a number 9, a target man. If they got that...
Well, they needed a number 9. Most of us thought that, but they needed a really good number 9. And at the moment, he's not. I mean, Declan Rice talks about the fact that he's getting, you know, defenders are getting tight to him and all this sort of stuff. You don't think defenders are getting tight to Erling Haaland? What do you think, they're playing a man for man on Haaland? They're not. He's just been, well, look, he's a much better player. But his movement and his aggressiveness in the box is just much better. His finishing is much better. A part of it is down to the way Arsenal, I think, play at times with the tippy-tappy, but they have fizzed a few balls into the box, and he's not been anywhere to be seen. So, these are the type of games as well where you haven't played great, the opponent is gritty, and you're just looking for somebody to be the penalty box striker and get you the 1-0 win. And at the moment, he's not that man.
So there's two things. You expect your centre-forward to be in certain places at certain times when certain balls are played in the box. And that ball Craig's talking about that was fizzed in, right across the 6-yard box, he was 10, maybe between 10 and 15 yards away from that.
Right.
So he's not read it, he's not anticipated it. And that's the other key. You know, the best strikers anticipate and read and figure out what sort of area the ball's coming into. Not exactly where it's going to be, but what area it's going to be. That's why you see Harry Kane scoring so many goals. All of a sudden, guess who's on the end of it? Gyokeres doesn't seem to be able to work that part of the game out. And the longer it goes, the less chance he's got to start him. Because right now, to me, it looks as though he should be starting somebody else.
Luis, what do you think? Is this Gyokeres not being good enough, or Arsenal not using their tactics to support him?
I think that when a striker doesn't score goals, or not what doesn't score goals, when he doesn't create enough chances, is because around him they are also problems. I didn't see that the Arsenal players were trying to find him or the crosses were in the right position. It's true that sometimes as a number 9, and we've been talking about Gonzalo Garcia, not far away of making those kind of moves to the near post, making moves away from the defender and trying to find the back of the defender. And Gyokeres maybe is not using those kind of movements to try to arrive in the right positions. But definitely when a player doesn't have, I think he's got 6-7 touches during the game. When a player as a number 9, you don't receive the balls in the right position, it's because around you are not. There hasn't been created enough play to put you in right position. So yeah, he needs to improve. Of course, he needs to provide more. Of course, because the transfer market, the price tag that he arrived, it was big enough, and the expectations were big. But definitely around him, the players haven't been serving the balls good enough to make him scoring goals.
Frank?
Yeah, I'm divided, and I'm going to defend Gyokeres more than the other way, because I really think that they never tried to find him. Sometimes they cross. We had Declan Rice who made a good cross second half with his left foot, but he was doing it randomly. I'm pretty sure that all Manchester City players, when they try to cross the ball, they try to aim Haaland, which is not the case with Gyokeres. So maybe he went to the wrong club. He should have had the question before signing, saying, are you going to cross the ball? Are you going to play tiki-taka? Are you going to do something where I have a chance to get the ball? And I agree with Stevie. Yeah, you have to have the flair. Maybe he hasn't have that flair so far, but at the end of the day, I don't find Arsenal game and way of playing dedicated to any striker in the world, because they go around and if they cross because randomly they try something because they have no other choices. But their game is not aimed towards any striker in a good position for me.
But it's a moot point if Arsenal win the league, and that's what it's all.
Will they win the league?
I think at the moment, yes. I think this is a blip for them. I think the rest are falling over themselves. It's as simple as that. It is absolutely theirs to chuck away, right? Even with a dysfunctional number 9, and that just sort of it all goes away. And you know, if they win the league, which looks likely at the moment, because they're very strong in every other department, Arteta will just say, well, you know what, next year he's going to be better, and it hasn't cost us, so it's not really a drama.
Right.
However, if one of these teams put a run together, and it looks like it can only be City, although they are faltering, and Arsenal have a few more of these results, and the pressure gets cranked up. Well, you fell away the last couple of years, you finished second, your ultra-rans, you know, the media start picking away at them. That's when I think it's going to become a really pressurised situation. At the moment, this gap is giving them leeway for the odd mistake.
Yeah, but Luis, will they be going to sleep tonight happy with 6 points, or knowing that it could have been 8?
Yeah, I think that the way that we saw today the game, I think they might be very happy. They have their options in the first 45, but Liverpool controlled the second half. Just the last 10 minutes, maybe when the game become a little bit transition forward and backwards. But during the second 35 minutes in the second half, I think Liverpool was dominating and creating maybe not clear chances, because Liverpool is struggling to find the back of the net, and well, without Isaac, without Tiki-Taka. So I'm sure that Arsenal, and by the way that they set up the lines of 4 in defense and not giving much space to Liverpool, you could see that they were more worried about conceding than more thinking about going forward. So 1 point for them, I think, is more than happy to have it.